Yeah, definitely a big difference. You know, my first couple of days of practice, I was adjusting, throwing up a lot, cramping a lot. But ever since then, I've been finishing practices and doing good ever since those days.
What was the, I guess, reason for you to transfer? Why did you want to do that?
Just for the opportunity, just the opportunity to come play on a bigger stage, play for DBU. So that was my kind of thing.
It seems like you fit in pretty seamlessly after missing most of the spring and kind of part of the summer. Just what has allowed you, I think, to have that that success here and kind of be a staple with the first team as a veteran guy?
Just my play style, really just being a guy that's ahead of the game, just knowing just certain routes and stuff like that, just being able to adjust to certain receivers and things like that. So just having that veteran presence in the secondary has been helping me.
Coach House described you as very sort of headsy, I think was his words, and savvy. Like, is that something that you've kind of always had, or did it develop because of playing so much at Syracuse?
No, that's just always something I always had, even when I was a little kid, just always being that coach on the field and stuff like that, knowing more than all the other teams and stuff like that. That's just always how I got ahead of the game and make my plays, just being ahead of the game.
Greg Brooks described you as a Marshawn Lattimore kind of cornerback. How would you describe your play style?
I like to compare myself to like a Jair Alexander, more like a swagger type of guy. And he ain't always pretty, but gonna get the job done. Trying to be number one corner this year, so that's who I compare myself to.
How would you describe your own game?
Describe my own game, versatility. I feel like I can play anywhere in the secondary, from corner, nickel to safety. So just being a playmaker on the field at any position is how I describe it.
Did they have you back at safety some today?
I don't want to put that out there, but I say I could be able to. If they want me to play safety, I could play safety. If they want me to play nickel, I could play nickel. So anywhere they want me to play, I could do it.
It really seems like the last handful of practices and communication between the secondary and the linebackers has been great. And you guys are making a lot of plays in 7-on-7, 11-on-11 drills. Just, do you guys feel more comfortable like communicating with each other now that you're in kind of the thick of fall camp? Just talk about that evolution, I guess.
Just the bond growing stronger during fall camp and stuff like that. So you could just tell the secondary is becoming more one. And the closer we get to game one, you could tell that we're going to be something special this year.
How does practicing against guys like Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Chris Hogan, how does that help you grow your game?
I mean, it helps you a lot. You know, you're going against one of the top receiver cores in the country. So going against them every day makes you compete. You can't take no days off, because if you do, you know, they're the type of guys that beat you over top at any moment. So you always got to compete and bring your all when you play guys like them.
Have you always had your eye on LSU, so to speak? I mean, you said DBU. I mean, there's something from you watching them afar and said, I mean, certain guys you liked on LSU's teams?
Yeah, growing up, Patrick Peterson and Honey Badger was always like guys I looked up. Like, even before I got to high school and college, I always told everybody that I was trying to go to LSU. It didn't work out coming out of high school, but, you know, God plans is always different than what you might want it to be. So just always going up watching LSU and wanting to be a part of DBU, that's always been a thing for me.
When you put yourself in the portal, was that the idea? Like,
it was ideal. Like, if I had the chance to come, that was probably most likely going to be a thing. But it wasn't like I was going to put all my eggs in one basket to LSU. But, you know, it all worked out, and I love it here.
Can you talk about, I guess, when they contacted you and your first thought was like, finally?
Man, I almost broke into tears, man, just hearing that LSU wanted me coming into the portal and that I had a chance to come and start for DBU and be one of the next guys is like a dream come true for me.
Being one of the guys in the room with, even though you're new, you have a lot of playing experience, do you carry that on your shoulders trying to be a leader for the other new guys?
Yeah, I always try to be a leader. You know, guys always carry that role growing up as a child. So always being that leader and just leading by example, by just making plays for my guys. So that's always kind of been a role I always try to play.
What is it about Malik Neighbors that makes him so difficult to guard?
Probably his versatility. You know, he can line up anywhere on the field. You could put him outside, inside. You can put him in the backfield. Just a guy that's going to make plays anywhere he is on the field.
Can you talk about the ascension of Ashley Stamps? I mean, he's been kind of the camp breakout star for the freshman group. But what makes him such a great player?
He's just so technically sound, you know, like just a guy that does everything the coaches ask him. So just see him make plays. You can just tell the work he's been putting in and doing what he's been asked of. So you can just see that everybody loves seeing the freshmen make plays.
Azai came into the transfer portal himself just like you did, and y'all been getting a lot of first-team reps. So what can you say about Zai and what's really stood out about him?
I mean, you know, he's a two-time All-American. You can tell he came in with the experience and the dog in him. He want to go against Malik every day. You can see he go against him a lot during team and stuff like that. So Zai just, you know, he's that tall, lengthy corner out there. And, he's going to make plays, and we can't wait to see him game one.
From day one of spring to today, how do you think this defensive back room has come together?
It's definitely been a big difference. You know, in the spring, it was kind of more of a just trying to adjust to each other and learn each other's strengths and weaknesses. And you can tell we kind of learned that now, and we kind of becoming more as one as fall camp goes on.
You played against Florida State last year? Did you play?
Yeah, I played Florida State last year.
Thoughts on them since you get to see them right away?
You know, they're a great team. You know, they're going to be a team that brings a lot of guys back. So, you know, they're going to have a lot of experience and stuff like that. You know, they got good guys on offense, but we got good guys on defense, so it's going to be a good game for us.
If you had to assess just kind of where you guys need to grow as a room before that Florida State game, what do you think is the area that you guys really want to kind of perfect before that first game?
Just little things. You know, we're not too far from being where we want to be. Just little things. It's more of just corrections of just learning the defense more. And the more we learn the defense, the more we look better as a secondary and as a corner room. So just learning the defense as more as we can.
What are your impressions of the Matt House defense as a whole? More of like an NFL guy coming in.
Oh yeah, when I came first learning the playbook, it was like I could tell this was like an NFL type of defense. So just learning it and stuff like that, I could see why so many players are so great in the defense. And Coach House does a great job of putting certain guys in certain positions to make their plays and stuff like that, like according to their strengths and weaknesses.
Was there an attraction to playing in the SEC? I mean, I guess you watched on TV, the crowds, just the interest. I mean, there's any kind of like NFL preparation. What was the attraction?
Just seeing all the top guys being in the SEC, more competition. A lot of people saying the SEC is the closest thing to the NFL, so of course I would want some part of that. You know, that's my goal is to make it to the NFL and be drafted. So just to have the opportunity to come play on a bigger stage and better competition, it was no brainer for me.
What's been the biggest difference between here and Syracuse?
The weather, man. It'd be 120 degrees feeling like out there. So going from playing in the snow to playing in heat that I never played in before, it's a little different, but I adjusted well to it so far.
Is that why you moved south and cut your sweatpants into shorts?
Yeah, I had to cut the sweatpants and the shorts. These are my basketball sweatpants, but you can't wear sweatpants when you're in Louisiana, especially not during the day. So I had to cut these in half.
Is there a difference in the caliber of play in practice, even from Syracuse to LSU?
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't say too much of a difference. We had great guys at Syracuse too, like Rondé Gatson. Going against him, a 6'5" tight end that can move everywhere. It was kind of good competition. Just you know, here it's the depth more than anything at LSU. You know, guys like people don't know too much about Chris Hilton, but Chris Hilton's going to be a guy this year. So just to go against the competition and the depth, it doesn't fall too much far from the one. So that's probably the biggest difference.
What's something you've noticed about the offense that they're trying to do this year that impresses you?
You know, just making Jay more comfortable, you know, letting Jay run the offense more and stuff like that. So you can just tell the offense is becoming more of like a together type of thing. And, you know, they're going to make things work and make plays, and we can't wait to see it game one.
Did you catch any LSU games on TV last year at all?
Yeah, we watched a few games. I always watch LSU no matter where I was at because that was always my favorite team. So I watched probably the Alabama game the most, and just to see that happen was just definitely crazy to watch on TV.
Does that get you excited to play in Death Valley?
Yeah, I heard it was an earthquake or something like that.
2 earthquakes.
Yeah, 2 earthquakes, man. I can't wait to play in a stadium like that, so I can't wait.
So let me get this straight. LSU was your favorite team when you were at Syracuse?
Nah, well, I wouldn't say it like that. Obviously, Syracuse was my team when I was at Syracuse, but, you know, I still was watching for LSU because that was always my dream school growing up, so I always still watch DBU.
Any more? All right.